Narayana, Narayana. Atma is the self-shining, free from the association with body and sense organs and mind and everything, entire world. It is free from duality, the duality within Atma, seeing oneself as a subject and also an object. See, object is also imposed upon the Atma, subject is also imposed upon the Atma, like in dream. In dream, subject and object are there. All that is within me when you wake up. When you wake up, you see that the entire world is come from me, lives in me, and again merges back into me. So when we say the world, something separate, all that is only a tentative from the standpoint of the subject within the dream. To the subject, the world is separate. World is away from. But to the witnessing Atma, nothing is separate. To the witnessing Atma, subject and object both are within itself. So, Atma is a Swayam Prakasha. Atma is free from body, mind and sense organs. All this we have seen. Now in the last point, Yeshosya Paramo Lokaha. Yeshosya, regarding the deep sleep, he says, there is no second thing. Because if there were, there are two things he told. Where there is division as it were, duality as it were, there one sees the other, one knows the other, one smells the other, one tastes the other. Like this, all this division appears as it were in dream or in waking state. But where yatra sarvam atmaiva bhut, where everything becomes Atma alone, like in deep sleep, everything becomes Atma alone. Yatra sarvam atmaiva bhut, kena kam pashyet. With what one sees home. With what one sees home. There is no instrument to see and there is no object to be seen other than yourself. So everything becomes one. That's what was told in the previous mantra. At the end of the mantra he says, Yeshosya Parama Anandaha. This Atma is existence, we have discussed. Consciousness, we have elaborately discussed. It is Ananda also. Ananda means happiness. So the very nature of Atma, which is pure consciousness, is also Ananda. Now, just as we have examined and understood consciousness, examined and understood the existence, now we need to examine and understand Ananda. What is Ananda? What is happiness? We do get happiness. We do get experiences of happiness. But in all these experiences, where is happiness? Where does it come from? Where does it come from? People generally think that there are various objects of enjoyment. So we have 2 or 3 or 4, we can say, certain experiences, certain objects we have. In contact with those objects, we get an experience of happiness. So we identify that there are certain things, we enjoy them, in contact with them we become happy. One is the contact of sense organs with the external objects. Contact of senses and object, this contact gives rise to happiness. And another is emotional relationship, mamakara. Mine. When you are emotionally related to things and people, then those people and those things with whom we are emotionally related, in their presence we feel become happy. So this happiness, where is this happiness? How does it come from? Just as Kim Jyoti Rayam Atma. What is the Jyoti? What is the light in which one lives and experiences? Same question can be extended here. Where is the happiness? With whose help we live? Where is that happiness? On which happiness we live? Same question extend here. Though he has not stated, we can state it. Where is that consciousness? Where is that light? In which light we live? The same question apply to Ananda. Where is that Ananda? In whose light, in whose help, in whose blessing we live and we get our happiness. Earlier we eliminated, first he told sunlight. In the light of sun we live. When there is no sun, moon. When there is no moon, fire. When there is no fire, speech. When there are no any of these four, then what is the light? Similarly, we have to apply it to, though he has not analyzed it, we can apply. What is that pleasure? We say that external objects are pleasure. When they're nice to see, when something to eat nicely, you have a pleasure. When you don't have the food, when you don't have the objects to see, well, how do you get your happiness? Same thing, the same question you apply here. When there are no external objects to enjoy, still you are happy. Don't you find an experience of happiness without coming in contact with external object? Without external object also, we come to have certain experiences of happiness. We have experiences of happiness. Therefore, is the source of happiness is outside? Just as the source of light is outside or inside? Same thing you apply here. Is the source of happiness outside or inside? If outside is the source of happiness, then we should always be in touch with external object alone. If you say, if you eat a good food, tasty food, that is the source of happiness, then two questions. Then you should be continuously eating alone in order to be happy. When the eating stops, then you should become unhappy. Do we become unhappy? Then are there no experiences of happiness without food? When there are other experiences also there. That means food is not a necessary source of happiness. Like this. Like this, you remove one by one. Is that the only source of happiness? Just as is the sun only source of light? Without the sun, don't we have a light? We have a light without sun, with the help of moon. Without moon also, without sun and moon, we can see with fire. Without sun, moon, fire, we can act with speech. Without any of these four, still we have light. What is that light? Similarly, what are the external sources of happiness? Find out one by one. Relatives, my friends, relatives, my beloved ones. Even without them, can't I be happy? Or don't I experience certain experiences of happiness even without them? That means happiness is not necessarily coming from them only. Not necessarily from external sources. And another thing is external objects. If external objects are sources of happiness, you should have all the time with them alone. But sometimes the same external sources, you get bored, you don't like them, and you feel that you don't get happiness with them. In fact, you don't enjoy, don't indulge, and you want to give up. And the people whom you love, beloved people, in their presence, in their contact, when you become happy, if you think that they are the source of happiness, after some years you live with them, the same people become a source of unhappiness also. Then how do you interpret? Are they sure and a definite source of happiness? They are only tentative. In a particular conditions, if the conditions change, the same people, same things cease to be source of happiness. That means then where is the happiness coming from? Is happiness outside or inside? Where is it? It is not external. You find out one by one. They are not the definite source. Sometimes in some conditions you seem to be happy in their presence, but not all the time. So external objects, you keep on removing them. But still you are happy in dream. Still you are happy when you are alone without anybody. Do you feel money is the source of happiness? But sometimes money also gives trouble. Sometimes money also gives trouble and you become sad, sorrowful about the money. Therefore, money is not a definite source of happiness. In fact, money is a source of tension also. Worried, insecurity. Along with money, a lot of other problems come. Protecting is a big problem. Protecting the money is a big problem. Protecting from two sources, those who want to rob and take away, and protecting it from being spent also. Because money is not a fixed thing. It is we call Lakshmi. Lakshmi is a chanchala. We call in Sanskrit chanchala. Chanchala means turbulent, transient, keeps changing. So chanchala is another name for Lakshmi. Lakshmi is, wealth, goddess of wealth. We say Lakshmi is a chanchala. Chanchala, it doesn't stay with one person, keeps on moving around. Lakshmi is a chanchala. Therefore, money is not a definite, sure, and all the time necessary source of happiness. Sometimes the same source will give you unhappiness. Then relatives and friends, no, they also can't be. Then what is that? Then can we say that your mind is the source of happiness? You can't say all the time. The same mind sometimes gives you trouble also. So mind also is not a definite, continuous, all the time source of happiness. Then where is that happiness? It's a very difficult thing to search. We have only 1 hour. 20 minutes are over. So I'll just say briefly, probably some other time in some other talk we will say. In Taittariya, Anandamaya Kosha, in Bruhadaranyaka, Maitreyi place, and here and there scattered areas are there. Talking about Ananda in Upanishads, scattered area, all these, I feel all these ideas about Ananda should be brought together in the Upanishads. From various places, all those sentences talking about Ananda put in one place and have a total picture of Ananda. Total Mimamsa. Ananda Mimamsa is the investigation, examination of Ananda. All these things should be brought together. Then it is easy. Because they are just running talks. Some guru is discussing with some disciple and certain things he told. Another guru told something somewhere else. So they are all scattered in Upanishads. All those ideas should be brought together in one place. Then you get a complete picture of Vedantic way of understanding what is Ananda. Ananda means happiness. I have been using Sanskrit word, I am forgetting. So happiness. So is it outside or is it within the body? Is it within the body? Is there any particular organ which produces happiness? Does heart produce? Does liver produce? Does pancreas produce? Or do lungs produce happiness? Or brain produces happiness? Which part of the body produces happiness? No. Neither external. Is there a particular object, a tree? Is there a particular tree which produces happiness? Or is there a particular factory which produces happiness and then supplies it through malls, supermarket and malls? So if you buy them and then distribute everybody would become happy. But there is no particular object called happiness. We know what is mango. We know what is certain name of vegetable. But is there a particular thing called happiness? Where is it? Nowhere. It's not a particular object. Neither outside nor inside the body. Nor in the mind also. You can't say mind is the sure source of happiness. No. Mind also sometimes keeps changing. In certain mood, the same mind is a sorrowful mind, the same mind is happy, tentatively happiness. So mind is also not sure source of happiness. Yet we are finding experiences of happiness. So where is that happiness? So Shastra says happiness is oneself. You become happy, this much we can say. You become happy, this is a universal experience, everybody knows. I get certain experiences of happiness. We are only searching for the source of happiness, though we have an experience of happiness. Number of times we had. So when I become happy, external sources, external objects, or even bodily condition, mental condition may be a tentative help, but it is me who become happy. Happiness is not an object of enjoyment. Happiness is an experience. In the experience, what is there? In the experience of happiness, I am present. I am present and I am happiness. In all your experiences of happiness, in all our experiences of happiness, what is present is predominantly is myself. I am present. Other things are varying. Things vary, but I am inevitable. In all experiences of happiness, the myself inevitable. Without me, there is no happiness. There is no experience of happiness. So I am inevitably present in all experiences. And I am important. I am the center. So in happiness, you don't get happiness, you become happy. That you see that. Happiness is myself. I become happy. Means happiness is not an object I acquire, is not an experience I acquire. It is the very nature of me. Happiness is myself. It's very my nature. Where there is one more place, in Bruhadaranyaka only another place he says, Maitreyi is Brahmana. Yajnavalkya teaches his wife, Vedanta, Atmanastu kamaya sarvamidam priyam bhavati. Wherever you find love, whichever you love, that object seems to give you happiness. Friends and relatives and property, money, things, jobs, many things. Whichever you love, in its presence you become happy. So what is the real source of love? Anything you love, not for its own sake. You love the books, not for sake of books. Because when you have books, when you possess them, when you read them, you get happiness. Therefore you love the thing. You love your friends because in their company you become happy. If in a company of a person you don't become happy, you don't love them. So love means you love anything, any person, only as long as they make you happy. This is inevitable, natural. Nobody can change it. This is how the nature is. Any person, any object, any experience, anything becomes dear to you only when in its presence, only when in its contact you become happy. If I don't become happy in contact with it, then no more I like it. Therefore, wherever there is a love, then only there alone, that object alone makes me happy. So it is the love that makes me happy, not the thing in itself. Supposing you love one thing, and as long as you love it, in presence of a thing, you become happy. After some time, your love changes. Then no more the same object becomes a happy source of happiness. That means it is your love that made you happy, not the thing in itself. So that way, what is the thing which you really love? All other things we love, tentatively, conditionally we love them. Any person, any object, anything we love, so long it makes me happy. If in the presence of such a person I feel restless, unhappy, I just try to avoid the person. No, he is no more a source of happiness. Like that, is there any source? Is there anything which I continuously love, naturally love, and nothing but love, I can never hate? Is there anything? It is Atma. Atmanastu kamaya sarvamidam priyam bhavati. Upanishad says, Yajnavalkya says it is Atma is the ever dear. Continuously, eternally, and naturally. It is not a cultivated love. Other loves you develop in the process. Somebody has helped you, somebody attracted you, somebody did something good to you, helped you when you are in great trouble, then out of gratitude, you start loving. But this love to yourself, love for yourself is so instinctive, natural, and inevitable. You can't withdraw your love for yourself, however you try. You can't withdraw your love to yourself. See, it is natural. Love for oneself is so natural. No parent, no mother or father teaches the baby you love yourself. Nobody teaches, and it cannot be taught, and by teaching you won't learn it. It is there instinctively. So one loves oneself, it is natural. And any other thing becomes dear to me when I impose myself upon it. When I love a thing, when I love an object or a person, means I am imposing myself upon them. A part of me is imposed on them. I feel that I am in them or in their relationship in that object. I love this object means a part of me is related to it. You call adhyasa, imposition. Therefore, when I impose on it, I start loving it, and in presence of the book, I become happy. But after some time, it wears out. That love wears out. Then the book bores me. I don't like it. So why, if the book is a real source of happiness, I should love it continuously. I should feel myself continuously in it. You feel yourself, your existence or your Atma is slightly extending to it. Therefore you love it. You love a friend because a part of you is related to him. Means you extend your own Atma to him. That's why we call mine. I and mine. Mine means what? It is Atma, yourself is extending little bit. Or in a way you say, a shadow of you is falling onto them. Your reflection, like you like the mirror not because mirror is beautiful. Mirror may be beautiful, that's a different thing. I see it because it reflects me. Ultimately, it is me who is an object of love. Similarly, just as you see your reflection in a mirror, similarly you see a little bit of reflection in your friends and relatives and beloved people, your dear objects and dear people. Dear objects and dear people, you see a little bit of reflection in you, reflection of you in them, therefore you start loving them. When that reflection changes, when your shadow changes, you start hating them. It becomes dummy, lifeless. So ultimately it is me, the person, the object in some manner related to Atma, then I become happy. Some way it should be related, some way it should reflect myself. Myself it should reflect a little bit, then it becomes dear to me. Then I love it, and in presence of it I become happy. So whenever any object of, another point, whenever any object or any person, any company of a person or an object, I become happy, you see what happens? The thing comes to me. Earlier it was away, I've been desiring it. When the thing comes to me closer, first thing is you get a promise that you are going to get it. That itself gives you a thought of joy. Yes, it is going to come. He is going to dispatch. I love it, so it is dispatch, it is coming, you become happy. When it reaches you, you become little more happy. Yes, I have received it. When you start enjoying it, you become happy, more happy. Moda pramoda ananda. Taittiriya says in Anandamaya Kosha. Okay. So when you enjoy it, what happens? You become happy, means the object becomes one with you. You become the nature of happiness. In your actual experience of happiness, what happens? The object helps you because your mind was extraneous, looking outside. I want to be happy, and what makes me happy, I look for outside. Is there anything which can help me to become happy? So what does that object or person, external object or person do? Your mind which was looking for outside, this object or a person, what it does is, your outward looking mind, they bring back to yourself. The mind is brought back to yourself. So you are not looking outside. When the person or an object of love comes to you, it comes closer, it becomes one with you. You enjoy, then what happened? Your outgoing mind, outward looking mind comes back to you. Comes back, and it merges into you. You become happy. Means ultimately, happiness is you when anything merges into you. Unhappiness is your mind is looking outside. That means a part of you is looking outside, going away from you. A part of you is going away and you bring it back and again merge back into you. You become whole person. Now there is no division in you. There is no division in you. A part of you, suppose you love something. You are here, your beloved is there. So you are divided into two. One part is here, one part is there. There you are unhappy. That your beloved object or beloved person comes to you. It is coming. As it is coming nearer, your outgoing mind returns. The other part of mind which has gone away from you, which is divided from you, comes back to you, closer. And the person or object comes closer and comes for your enjoyment. Then what happens? Your mind comes back and merges into you. So the division in you disappears, you become one. In that oneness, you become happy. So in all our experiences of happiness, the divided you becomes one. You see, in all our, watch your experiences, the divided you are here and one part of other, one part is here, one part there elsewhere. These two parts come together, you become one. In that thing, there is no expectation. In that moment of happiness, one moment or one minute of happiness, your mind is not looking outside. So mind is not looking for anything outside, because at that moment of happiness, your mind has come back to you. What you want and what you are one. If what I want is elsewhere, what I am is here, what I want is elsewhere, there is a gap, there is a division. What I am, what I want, there is a division. But when I am happy, in that experience of happiness, what happens? What I want is not away from me. What I am, what I want, both have become one. This non-duality, this indivisibleness, this freedom from division, oneness makes me happy. What I want is myself. And I am here, what I want is also myself. So there is no division, I am happy. You see the moment of happiness, take that moments of the experiences of happiness, what are you? You are relaxed, you are natural, you are with yourself. You don't lose yourself. You have your complete self with you. A part of you is not lost, is not away from you, is not divided from you. You are complete self. That's why you see any happiness, any moment of happiness, you are a complete self. No missing self, no deficiency, no part of you is gone away from you. So everything is with you, all with you alone, you are happy. Therefore, any experience of happiness, you are non-dual, you are one with yourself, you are complete, non-seeking, non-deficient, non-wanting person. At least that moment. After some time again you become wanting person, that's a different issue. But at least that moment of happiness, there is no want. Want means my mind goes away from me, looks elsewhere. It's not elsewhere, it comes back and ultimately becomes one with me. At least that one moment, I'm completely happy with myself. So this way of examination, investigation of your happiness shows that there is experience of happiness, one point. Second, in that experience of happiness, you as an Atma is a non-dual, one and complete, without expecting anything from outside. All that you expect is with you, it has already come to you. It is with you. So, when you are yourself, complete self, happiness. Therefore, Atma is Ananda. This is the conclusion. What is happiness? Atma is happiness. But why are we not happy most of the time? Because divided. A part of Atma we imagine elsewhere. Only a part of Atma is there, incomplete Atma. Incomplete Atma is unhappy Atma. So, you watch that experience of happiness, you are a complete self. You don't look for anything outside. You don't feel that you are missing or deficient or anything. You are a complete and full. You are full. That's why Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma we say. You are full at that moment. In that moment of happiness, you are full by yourself. So that fullness is Ananda. With non-wanting self is Ananda. Complete self is Ananda. without any deficiency is Ananda. And that Ananda gets covered up, mind gets divided, and a part of it runs out and, oh, I want that thing and this thing, then divided. Once divided, you become incomplete self, and that the missing self is away from you, because that person or object or money and power and so many other things, a part of me has gone away. Until I find that, I won't be happy. Only a part of me is here, a part of me is gone there, is a divided Atma, unhappy Atma. So in happiness, there is an indivisible Atma, one united, complete Atma. That's why deep sleep is a Paramo Ananda, absolute Ananda, because there is no division, absolute oneness. Deep sleep is absolute oneness. There is nothing outside me. I encompass everything. Time, space, object, entire world is with me. Not only this world, other world, sun, moon, star, even the other loka, Sarga loka, Brahma loka, all the worlds, all are with me. I am complete myself. Therefore, and one more thing, in the happiness is a natural state. It is not an unnatural state. It is not artificially forced state. If it is a forced state, again in the forcedness itself is a tension. If it is a forced state, acquired state, you feel little again tension. Where there is no tension, whatever is natural is happiness. When you are happy, you feel natural. When you are unhappy, you feel unnatural. See, any sorrow, any pain is unnatural. You feel restless. When you become happy, you can see the mind, he talks slowly, in a relaxed way, eyes are relaxed, his voice is relaxed, his hands and legs are relaxed, everything is a very relaxed and natural. Because happiness is a natural state. And when happiness comes, you don't feel anything uncomfortable, anything unnatural there. Because that's your nature. Happiness is my nature. Sorrow is my unnatural. It is artificial. Therefore, happiness is the nature of Atma. Because when I am happy, I am in my natural state. When I miss my happiness, I feel restless. Something is missing and wondering, looking for that thing, this thing. You keep on complaining and shouting and criticizing or planning what to do and all those things. Because something is missing. Something is missing. But when you are happy, nothing is missing. So there is nothing outside. You are all yourself. So that is a natural state. So happiness is natural. So Sushupti, deep sleep, is the most natural state. You have no effort. You don't feel any strain, any effort at all. All your hands and legs, just you leave them. Your eyes are not straining, ears are not straining, hands are not straining, legs are not taking any strain. No part of the body has any strain. No part of the mind has any strain. All the stress and strain is removed. You are in a very natural state. Therefore, everybody loves deep sleep. There is no person on the earth who doesn't love sleep. There is no person who doesn't love his sleep, because everybody loves sleep. At some time you may postpone if you are some interesting thing, or if you have some workings on something, you may postpone little bit, but even that also for a short while, afterwards you become tired with everything else and you want sleep. Sleep means what? You want to be yourself. You want to be complete self. Yourself and complete self. So that is Ananda. And that's why if somebody disturbs you in your sleep, what happens? You feel disturbed, you get agitated, you get angry. What is this thing? You come anytime you should inform me before. What is this odd time you come and disturb my sleep? People say in sleep is nothing, there is nothing, they say. If it is nothing, why should you miss it? Why should you feel disturbed when sleep is disturbed? If sleep is nothing, you should not feel anything if somebody disturbs. If somebody disturbs your sleep, simply you should get up and go, that's all, as if nothing happened. But why feel disturbed? You feel that you are missing a lot. Why should you miss it if it is nothing? It is everything. It is you. You are natural you. Therefore, you are missing your natural self. Therefore, Sushupti is Yesha Paramanandaha. Yeshosya Paramanandaha is an absolute Ananda, infinite Ananda. Oh, you don't feel anything less there. Complete 100 to 100%. Etasyaiva. Now, what are the other experiences in waking and dream? All other experiences in human experiences and what you call various other experiences of enjoying things at the level of senses, at the level of mind, at the level of intellect, various levels, whatever we are experiencing. Even the human beings and devatas and our rishis, all these people are experiencing different degrees of ananda. He says, this absolute infinite happiness which is found in deep sleep, which is Atma itself, which is natural to Atma, which is the very nature of Atma. In fact, Ananda, Atma are not two things. Atma is Ananda, Ananda is Atma, they are synonymous. They are synonymous. Therefore, etasyaiva anandasya, this infinite Atma alone, anyani bhutani matram upajivanti. All the living beings, all the jivas share a small particle, a small degree, small particle of that infinite Ananda. So that infinite Ananda reflects in a given condition of mind, given condition of body, given condition of sense organs, given condition of your external contact with external things. These are all various conditions. Various conditions reflect various degrees, that Ananda. So whichever condition reflects my Atma Swarupam, that condition reflects only that degree of Ananda. If your mind is in a good mood, you say that a more degree of your Atma is reflected in it. If your mind is a little disturbed, what happens? A less degree of Atma is reflected in it. Therefore, you have a little happiness, a little disturbance and little happiness. So, your condition of the body, mind and sense organs varies. It is not always uniform. Therefore, according to that condition, your reflection of Atma is there in that degree. Therefore, your degree of happiness keeps fluctuating up and down. But we are depending upon sense organs, body, condition of the body, condition of sense organs, condition of mind alone. We get happiness, we find the Atma only when it is reflected in these conditions, body, mind and sense organs. So the real Atma is the real source and natural and complete and infinite Ananda. So body and mind and sense organs are not real me, but sometimes they tune up little bit, they give a little reflection. Therefore you will get a little bit of Ananda and again you lose them. You get little and lose them. Again you get little and lose them. But still we are struggling at this level alone, body, mind and sense organs. If you leave out body, mind and sense organ, come back to your natural self, then you have got an infinite Ananda, eternal Ananda, continuously unbroken. Unbroken, eternally, infinitely. And naturally, without any strain, nothing is lost. Because it has never been lost, nor you don't need to gain it. It is natural to you. Therefore, Atma's nature alone, we are seeing in various degrees reflected in body, mind and conditions. Therefore, we have a fluctuating degrees of Ananda. So, to be able to understand how Ananda of Brahman is infinite, he gives here Ananda Mimamsa. Ananda Mimamsa means, Mimamsa is an investigation. To give an idea of what is infinite Ananda. Sayo Manushyanam Radha Samruddho Bhavati. In Taittiriya also the same thing is there in a slightly different words. Here is a person, is a very good human being, very educated, cultured man, very humble and nice man. Not very highly disturbed people. If he lives with a disturbed parents or a disturbed friend circle, his mind is highly disturbed. Is deeply hurt, deeply humiliated and suffering person. Cannot guilt and hurt. If he carries a lot of guilt and hurt, he can't enjoy his life. But if a person hale and healthy, mentally healthy, physically healthy person, and is not poor man suffering, is rich enough, he has got a good job satisfaction, he has got a good beloved people, his family members and all. Such a person who has got all, everything is good, he enjoys 1 unit of human Ananda, 1 maximum unit of human Ananda, Manushyanandaha. He says, Sa Manushyanam Parama Anandaha. Taittiriya Upanishad also says like that. Yuvasyad Yuvadhyayakaha. What is that? Ashishto Sadishto. I forgot some mantras. Yuvasyad Sadhu Yuvadhyayakaha. Ashishto Dradishto Balishtaha. Tasyayam Prithve Sarva Vittasya Purnasyat. Sa Eko Manusha Anandaha. Taittiriya mantra says that. A person is an emperor of the whole world. That means he has no enemies. A person who is an emperor of the entire world, he is a hale and healthy and cultured and mature person. He has got all wealth with him. All people respect him. Nobody is there to humiliate him. And such a person, when he enjoys one human unit of ananda. That is the maximum human unit of ananda. And all other people are not have even maximum human ananda, only small degree. And multiply this human unit of ananda into 100 times is called Pitraloka Ananda. Pitraloka Ananda, mains, we call them in English, mains, Pitrus. So Pitrus mains is another loka. Those who die and leave and go there. Because when they leave this body, the inner mind is of still higher level. Atma is of higher level. It goes to Pitraloka and it enjoys happiness more than human mind. Because human mind, ananda is restricted by this body. Body is a lot of problem. I tell you, it is a jail. It is a prison. It is not a very matter of pride and happiness. This body should not make a person proud and happy. It doesn't make. It restricts you many things. Person, when he leaves the body, oh, the joy is different. As if you are liberated, like a bird with the wings, you can fly anywhere. Some people have these out-of-body experiences. They say, wow, without body, what a joy it was. And again I came back to this body, it is restricted. Like a bird, I felt that I am flying. And people think that this body is something great. It restricts you. It is a house arrest. Not house arrest, it is body arrest. It is body arrest. So Atma is restricted by this body. So only whatever body permits, only those things you do. But if Atma itself is beyond the body, it is a Pitraloka. The people, those who live in Pitraloka, the Pitrus, they enjoy 100 times more of human ananda. See, Atha yeshatam manushyanam anandaha sayeka pitrunam jitalokanam anandaha. So, 100 times human ananda is enjoyed by Pitraloka. Then in Pitraloka, 100 times of Pitrus Ananda is in Gandharva Loka. Loka means the world. Same jivas, due to certain maturity level, they live in higher loka. The loka's higher lower depends upon your maturity. Purity of the mind. How purity the mind is. Depending upon the purity of the mind, you will go to that higher lokas. And you will enjoy that level of happiness. With the help of the particular body, because in Pitraloka you have a Pitru body. When you go to the Gandharva Loka, you have got a Gandharva body. But in Manushya Loka, you have got a human body, which is afraid of every small thing, including a mosquito will threaten you. You cannot be happy. Every smallest thing on the earth will threaten you. We have become a slave of every small thing. They think that human being is great, he is a master of the world and all that. When mosquito bites, tell me what master you are, what king you are. You, even being a king, you see, the mosquito is not afraid of even a king also. It bites even a king. The king also has to cry when the mosquito bites. See, small mosquito can make you unhappy. What great human life is. We are so small, so insignificant beings we are, insignificant creatures. Admit it that we are insignificant, you become humble at least. We are so small and insignificant. How much? One time if you don't get water, if you don't get one food, I tell you how much we suffer. We depend on so many things. Through body depends on many things. We depend on many things because on account of body. So we become very frail, very dependent, very suffering. A slave we become because of the body. Therefore, in higher lokas, the body is a better body. It doesn't suffer with a small mosquito and all that. So hunger and thirst it doesn't have. Higher lokas, they will have a more subtler bodies, sukshma sharira, stronger body. The very body you live in, it makes you happy. So higher than that into higher loka, then higher, then better, like that. So eko gandharvalokaha, teyeshatam gandharvalokanam karma devanam. Beyond the gandharva, there is a karma deva. Karma deva means those who do punya and go to Swargaloka. In Swargaloka, two types of gods are there. Those who do punya karma, like doing service and then helping others and being gentle people, all good people, helping others, such are praying to God, these things. Such punya karmas, those who do, they go to Swargaloka. They enjoy Swarga happiness. But in Swarga, there are two things. There are the natural gods who live in the Swarga only. They are the staff, they are like the staff of the Swarga. The staff of the Swarga is called Ajana Janam Deva, Ajana Devaha. Ajana Deva, Karma Deva, two things are there. Karma Devas are, we are all people. When we do some punya karma, we are given a short period to live in Swarga. According to your punya, you live there for a while. After once your punya is exhausted, the fellow will come which politely say, sir, your punya is exhausted, you have to go down to Manusha Loka. He says, so early? Oh, how many years? You have lived 100 years now. If you go to the Manusha Loka, all your grandparents, everybody has died. Now your next generation won't even recognize you. Go back now, they say. And you come and see, oh, you see that no city is recognizable. All cities change, roads change, buildings change, everything change. You come back to Bangalore, you will see it is a new city. After 100 years, you come. But 100 years for them it is a short period alone. Because the time is a clock. See, according to this earth movement, you have a time. There the clock is different. Each loka clock is different. So there, it is a happy loka. Therefore, in happiness, time moves fast, you won't even realize. You feel that so short, I came few days ago only. Oh, it's not few days, sir, so many months have passed. So your punya is exhausted, you should come back. So for Manusha Loka, it looks a long time. But for Devaloka, it's a very short period because it's a happy moment. You would not even know in your happy moment, hours pass, days pass, and evening comes, you say, oh, is it time? It's over, time is over. In happy moment, time passes fast. Therefore, Devaloka passes. So there are two types of Devaloka. Tentative Devaloka, like you and I, do punya karma, live there for some time and come back. There are other Devas who live like Ajana Deva. They are Siddhas, like Indra, Varuna, Agni, Indra Deva, Agni Deva, Varuna Deva. They are the Devas of the Loka. They have got higher powers. Their mind is purer. They can bless others. They have got a powers, Ashtasiddhi. Like all miracles they have got. They can bless people. They can help them. By just oral, they can bless, things happen. Okay, so they are Devalokas. And beyond Devaloka, 100 times of Devaloka, who get that? Indra. Indra's happiness is 100 times more than other Devas. 100 times more than Indra's happiness is Indra's Guru Bruhaspati. Indra also has got a Guru. Bruhaspati is a more tapasvi, mahatapasvi, highest purity he has attained. A purity of mind is so great that Indra's Guru Bruhaspati gets 100 times greater happiness than Indra. That's why Indra also respects Bruhaspati Guru and lives under the guidance of because his mind is not restless, purer and relaxed. A mind which is restless and uneasy, it becomes unhappy. A mind which is relaxed and purer, it enjoys a greater degree of happiness. So therefore, more than Indra, Bruhaspati gets a greater joy, 100 times greater joy. More than Bruhaspati, Prajapati. Prajapati is the first, after Brahmadeva, first one who created the world. All Prajapatis we call them. And then 100 times more than Prajapati is directly Brahmadeva, Hiranyagarbha, the God who created the world. And more than the Brahma Loka. Iga beyond Brahma Loka, iga now you can't count. He says, Ganita Nivrittihi, Shankaracharya says, the multiplication ends, now you can't count it. Beyond that is a Brahmananda, is infinite. Now infinite times, how many times you can't count it. The nature of Parabrahma, the nature of Brahman is infinite Ananda. It is infinite, limitless, you can't count it. There is no instrument, there is no calculator. All calculators fail because it is so infinite. Infinite Ananda of Brahman. And one more thing, in human mind, in human life also, two ways of getting Ananda. One is by acquiring punya, you can go to Gandharva Loka, Pitruloka, and you get the body suited to that loka and get happiness. Another way is if your mind is educated, cultured, pure, selfless. How much you can command this selflessness, purity, desirelessness, how much you can command. Depending upon your purity of mind, desirelessness is also fluctuating. Purity and selflessness, how much you can command. Even living in human body, you can have a joy equal to Pitros. Even here alone, if your mind is pure and relaxed, undisturbed, selfless person, you can enjoy the happiness equal to Gandharvaloka here, equal to gods here, equal to Indra here, equal to Brahaspati here, equal to Brahmadeva you can enjoy here alone. If your mind is so pure, equal to Indra, equal to Brahaspati. So, two ways of getting. One is you get the power. You get the body and go to that loka. Another is without going to the loka, being here alone, if you can purify your mind, make your mind relaxed and pure and selfless and desireless, so that degree of happiness you can get right here. So here also you can improve your degree of happiness. But these are all various degrees. Avrujinaha, sinless person. Akamahataha, desireless person. Shrotriyaha, very educated and cultured man. Very selfless man. Such people. All these people, two ways as I told you. One is, by punya you acquire that level of body, that loka level body. Another is, you don't acquire the body, but you acquire the purity of mind, selflessness of mind. So that purity of mind also enjoys equal to that. So these are all fluctuating ananda, from human ananda to Brahmaloka ananda. These are all different degrees. As you go higher and higher, from human world, from human body to the higher lokas, as you proceed higher and higher, your degree of happiness increases 100 times more and more. But as you go to the lower level, from the human level to lower is animal level. Animal to even birds. Next to birds, less than animal. Even animals, there are mammals you call them, like a cow and others. Cow, among the animals, cow and such things are more sattvika. Cow enjoys a better happiness compared to the other animals, lower animals. So compared to the cow, other animals are less. Then the birds are still less. Then insects are still less. Then the plant is much less. Then worse than the plant is hell. Hell is much more. That's the lowermost loka. There, pain is more and a little bit of happiness. Totally nobody loses. There will be little, because happiness is Atma. Nobody totally loses Atma. Atma gets covered up. Atma gets covered up. Therefore, covering is more and Atma's manifestation is very little. Even in hell, there is a little degree of Ananda, but it's a very minimum degree. Very minimum. So as you proceed higher and higher, your degree of happiness increases, degree of sorrow comes down. Manushya is in between. But when you proceed from Manusha Loka to higher, the degree of happiness increases in each higher loka and degree of sorrow decreases. And Brahmaloka is a maximum, but there is a little degree of sorrow also, a little, very little. So in all these lokas, there is a sukha dukkha mixed up, only it's fluctuating, little higher and lower. But the absolute Brahmananda is totally Brahmananda, completely free from sorrow. It has no sorrow whatsoever, it is completely happy. So that is Brahmananda. So this Brahmananda, Esha eva Paramanandaha, Esha Brahmalokaha Samrat. O king, he is talking to Janaka, O emperor, this Sushupti is the absolute happiness, which is beyond all these lokas. It is infinite happiness. This happiness is you. You are that Brahman. In your real nature, you are that. Until you find that, you feel little unnaturalness. When you discover that, you feel so spontaneous and natural, effortless. Without any effort you enjoy, eternally you enjoy, spontaneously you enjoy. It is infinite happiness. Infinite means it is happiness, but you never get bored with that happiness. Every day, every moment to moment, it looks fresh. Every moment, generally other happinesses, in the beginning when it comes, you become thrilled and happy. After some time, I have seen this bored, now you say, I don't want it. But you wanted it in the beginning. So your mind also, the sensitivity of your mind also differs, changes. But that Brahmananda is such, it is ever fresh. Even if you live for 100 years, 1000 years, it never loses its luster. It is ever fresh, ever new, ever infinite, ever complete. Infinity, there is no boring. It is infinite Ananda. Therefore, that is you. He says, Soham Bhagavate Sahasram Dadami. I give you these 1000 cows to you. So you become complete Ananda. That's over. So Janaka offers his money and all wealth and kingdom, everything he offers to him. Because I don't need anything. I have become Brahman. Now all this kingdom, money and everything, all that I don't need it. I am already happy. You take away all these things, he says. So he attains to the fearlessness, completeness. Okay? This is what is Brahmananda Paripurna Ananda. We have given some idea. If you go to the Bhashya, I think a few more arguments, a few more points are there to be discussed. It's okay, you can discuss. There is an endless thing again and again. But broadly, we have covered the summary of it. So this is in Bruhadaranyaka Upanishad, there are 6 adhyayas, 6 chapters. First 2 chapters are called Madhukandam. Madhukandam because the ending portion is called Madhu. Madhu is honey. So ending portion is called Madhu, therefore Madhukanda. This Madhukanda consists of 2 chapters. Each chapter consists of 5 to 6 Brahmana. Brahmana is some subsections. So first 2 chapters are called Madhukanda. 3rd and 4th are called, the middle kanda is called Munikanda. Munikanda means Yajnavalkya Muni. So in the 3rd and 4th chapter, these 2 chapters are only discussion with Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya teaches people. Yajnavalkya teaches Janaka, and certain in the Sabha, Janaka's court, you see, in the king's court they discuss Vedanta. Is there any court in the country now, in the world, any country where kings sit and discuss Vedanta? Impossible to imagine. In the king's court they discuss Vedanta. So Yajnavalkya goes to visit Janaka, and then 2 sessions, one chapter is Sabhasada. The other people, other scholars challenge him and question him. In the 4th chapter, only Yajnavalkya, Janaka puts questions and he answers. So that is the 4th chapter. So 3rd chapter, there are 9 Panditas are there. That's a very interesting story. Yajnavalkya comes there, and Janaka says, who is the one who knows the Brahma, a best knower of Brahman? Who is the best means complete knower of Brahman? Who is in my kingdom? I want to have Brahmajnanis here who know Brahman well. I want such people. So in my kingdom, in my court, who are the best knowers of Brahman? To them I give this 1000 cows. With each cow, on the horns of the cow, gold plate is put. All this is ready, kept here. So who is this? Nobody dares to say. Everybody keeps quiet. Waited. There was a silence for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Then Yajnavalkya gets up and says that, oh Samashrava, his disciple. He calls his disciple, Samashrava, take away all our cows to our ashram, because we need, he has got a big university, big around 10,000 Veda Vidyarthis. Vedic students, 10,000, he has got such a huge Gurukula. So to maintain our Gurukula, we need these cows and gold, take away. Then other Panditas, they challenge him. You think that you are a Brahmajnani? Without proving thing, you are taking away all the cows? Yajnavalkya says, I am not claiming anything. I need cows, therefore I am taking. I am not claiming anything. But he says, you can't touch the cows. They ask, You have to answer my questions. They will put the question. 9 people put 9 questions. Some of them are Vedantic, mostly Vedantic, a few of them are Upasana, 1 or 2 about karma. All the questions he instantly answers. Then everybody remains silent. Nobody is able to question now. Then Janaka, Yajnavalkya wins all that and takes away all the cows in the 3rd chapter. In the 4th chapter, only 1-to-1 discussion, Yajnavalkya and Janaka. Janaka, of course, there are few people in his court. So there he discusses. That is the 4th chapter. So in the 4th chapter, 3rd Brahmana is called Jyotir Brahmana. That Jyotir Brahmana he talks about this, how Atma Jyoti, this we have roughly covered. Bhashya also, most of the portions covered. We have given a summary of them. Some portion I read out certain Bhashya Vakya. Okay. So, Avastatraya Viveka is there in Chandogya also. And even Prashnopanishad also. That's also interesting. I think sometime else, probably next year if you come. If you happen to come, then we'll see. Chandogya Upanishad and then Prashnopanishad. That's also very interesting. I think that we can do in one session. I mean one week or 10 days session later. Okay. Now shall we conclude now? Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om